What was the score in the Flame game when you called it a night, Steve?
It was the end of the second period.
Oh dear, 4-2.
Yeah, so I was feeling pretty good for you guys and the team and all that.
But what was your thought when that 4-2 goal went in? Did you kind of or did you still feel like it was in the bag?
No, it was a little bit. That was a little bit of that. Yeah, just same as when the 2-1 goal went in. It's a little bit of that, right? Just kind of, boy, this is kind of against the flow of play, and that's not a good thing ever when you've kind of got a game under control and you give one up. But it didn't. It's famous last words. It didn't seem particularly fatal. Yeah. And again this morning I did catch up with the high stick this morning, so I'm fully versed on what happened.
All right. Well, thoughts on the call on the ice being a goal and then the review confirming a goal?
Well, if you're going to have a review system, the goal of the review system is to get it right, and I don't see any way in which they got it right. It seems pretty clear cut to me. Now, I heard my colleague John Shannon on the TV this morning, who's a guy who's very tapped into the league office, and he said, well, they see all these different angles and da-da-da, and they want to get it right, and they, kind of, I guess the suggestion is that they see secret things that we don't see. But every angle I saw showed that puck going in off a high stick.
If they see secret things that we don't see, why don't we see them?
Well, that's a good question. Right?
Share them, by all means.
But I have not seen a replay in which it did not appear that puck went in off a clearly high stick.
And they took their time with it. Like it wasn't
they took their time with it. And and again, if the replay system can't overturn that call on the ice, and again, I don't blame the guys on the ice for getting it wrong, because that's going to happen, and that's a tricky one sometimes, and it's fast, and but if a replay system doesn't correct a call like that, then why do you have a replay system? And I look at, I would say the same thing if it was the Ducks goal that was disallowed, if it was a Flames goal was disallowed, right, or any combination, right? It's just that's why replay systems exist.
Why?
Just for a situation like that, right?
I just think if you're going to have a high stick reviewable, you're going to need a camera near the height of the crossbar. Like, that's the silliest thing, is it not? That we're going to camera angles from 60 feet in the sky and expecting to get confirmation or not confirmation? Like, it's ridiculous.
I guess, but, at a certain point, like you may not have an absolutely perfect angle for every, you can do for the goal line, you can get a pretty definitive angle now. It's going to be, it may be impossible to get an absolute perfect shoulder-on angle for a high stick call for every point on the ice. But at a certain point, then, you have to kind of allow your eyes to tell you what they're seeing. Don't you?
Yeah.
It's like there's no one has the courage of their convictions.
See, here's the thing, and we can have this debate. But on a night where the Flames, they still had a lead with 8 and change to go in the game. They were not called, they were not given a penalty. They had 0 penalties to kill off. I have a hard time here this morning, after watching that game, spending a whole lot of time griping about the officials. A great deal went the Flames' way.
That's a very mature attitude, and you're right. And games are lost for all kinds of reasons. And you can go back through, and if you blow a 4-1 lead, you probably deserve to lose on some level, right? You had it. Lock it down, suck the air out of the rink, win. Go on to the next one. But it's not, they did not lose the game because of a call that was missed on the ice and a replay review that was not given. They lost it because they blew a 4-1 lead in a playoff game at home with everything on their side. And you can look, there was some iffy goaltending, there's some iffy play all around, there's a bit of panic, there's a bunch of things that kick in there. And, if you take the kind of holistic view of why they lost the game and I say the mature view, that's exactly right. But it's hard not to go and look at that call and say, boy, I am baffled by how the system functioned there.